You think being nice makes you a good person. It doesn't. It makes you invisible, resentful, and easy to control. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But if you're always pleasing others, you never will." This video is a warning and a way out. The psychological roots of people-pleasing isn't kindness, it's fear disguised as virtue. It often begins in childhood. Maybe your father only showed warmth when you obeyed, or your mother withdrew love when you made mistakes. You learned that love was conditional, earned by being good, quiet, agreeable. Over time, you began sacrificing your truth for safety. Psychologists call this a fawning response, a trauma reaction where, instead of fighting or fleeing, you try to appease to avoid rejection or pain. It becomes a survival strategy. You stop asking what you want because all your energy is spent trying to guess what others want from you. But the more you please others, the more you abandon yourself. You become a shapeshifter, adaptable, likable but hollow, and yet you're praised for it. Society rewards the agreeable, the polite, the reliable friend who never says no. No one tells you that what looks like niceness is often a deep fear of abandonment. And so you keep sacrificing your time, your values, even your truth, hoping for validation. But it never comes, because no amount of external approval can fill the void left by your own abandonment. People-pleasing is not empathy, it's self-erasure. It's a deep, unconscious belief that your worth depends on how useful, nice, or non-threatening you are to others. And until you trace it back to where it began, you'll keep betraying yourself. Carl Jung's shadow, the parts you hide to be good. Carl Jung believed that every human being has a shadow, the unconscious part of ourselves we disown, suppress, or deny. Not because it's evil, but because it doesn't fit the version of ourselves we think others will accept. For the people-pleaser, the shadow is filled with everything you were taught not to be. Assertive, angry, selfish, defiant, bold. You pushed those parts away to be seen as good. And in doing so, you fractured yourself. The problem is, what you suppress doesn't disappear. It festers. It leaks out in passive aggression, anxiety, resentment, exhaustion. You say yes when you mean no, then feel hollow. You're praised for being so nice, but deep down you feel like a fraud. Jung warned, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. This is the danger of people-pleasing. It becomes your fate. You mistake performance for personality. You confuse avoidance with peace. And the more you bury your truth, the more your shadow grows, demanding to be seen. Freedom begins when you stop trying to be a good person and start being a whole one. Because sometimes the most loving thing you can do is disappoint someone else to stay true to yourself. The hidden cost of being nice. Being nice seems harmless. Harmless until it slowly kills your sense of self. You think you're being kind, but what you're really doing is hiding. You smile through discomfort. You apologize when it's not your fault. You downplay your needs so others don't feel awkward. On the surface, people like you, but deep down, you feel invisible. Here's the truth. People-pleasing is not love, it's control. You're trying to control how others see you, hoping if you never offend, never disagree, never disrupt, they'll approve of you. But that approval is fragile, because it's not even based on who you are. It's based on a version of you that doesn't exist. And it comes at a cost. You say yes when you mean no. You smile when you're angry. You help others, then feel resentful when they never return the favor. That resentment doesn't make you a bad person. It's your soul trying to scream through the mask. Niceness isn't the problem. The problem is when it becomes your prison. When being easy to be around means betraying your truth. That's not kindness. That's self-abandonment. You weren't put on this earth to be liked by everyone. You're here to become real, to speak what's true, even if your voice shakes, even if it costs you approval. Because peace isn't found in being liked. It's found in being whole. How people-pleasing destroys your identity. When you live to please others, you don't develop a personality. You develop a defense mechanism. You become a mirror for what others want to see. You adapt, shrink, filter, and censor. At first it seems harmless. You're just being considerate. But over time, it hollows you out. You don't know what you want anymore. You don't know what you believe. You become a walking apology. This is identity erosion, a slow decay of your inner voice. Psychologically, this is dangerous. Your identity, yourself, is the foundation for all boundaries, desires, and decisions. When that crumbles, life becomes confusing. You start asking everyone else for advice. You chase validation. You ignore your gut, because somewhere along the way you stopped trusting your own voice. Jung warned that the persona, the social mask we wear, can become tyrannical if we never remove it. You start thinking the mask is you, but beneath that mask is a soul starving for authenticity. People-pleasing turns your identity into a performance, a character, and the longer you play that role, the harder it is to remember who you really are. Reclaiming your identity means this: stop editing yourself to fit others. Say what you think. Risk being misunderstood. Let people see the full you, the flawed, messy, complex human behind the pleasantries. This is freedom, not comfort, not approval, but becoming unapologetically, unmistakably you. How to stop people-pleasing step by step. You don't stop being a people-pleaser by becoming harsh. You stop by becoming honest. Here's how. Step 1. Awareness when you're saying yes out of fear, not love. Pay attention to the moments your body tightens, your voice softens, and you agree just to avoid tension. That's not peace. That's avoidance. Step 2. Pause before responding. Don't answer immediately. Say, let me think about it. Buy yourself space to reflect. People pleasers act fast. Slowing down is an act of power. Step 3. Set micro boundaries. Start small. Say no to minor things. Don't over-explain. Let discomfort sit in the room without fixing it. The world won't end, and you'll build trust with yourself. Step 4. Let people be disappointed. This is the hardest, but every time you tolerate someone's disappointment, you grow stronger. You realize their emotions are not your responsibility. Their reaction is not your fault. Step 5. Reconnect with your desires. Ask, what do I want? What do I need? Journal it, speak it, live it. You can't stop people-pleasing until you know what you'd do if no one was watching. This isn't about becoming selfish. It's about becoming real. And the more real you become, the less approval you'll need. Because your peace will no longer depend on how others feel about you. It will depend on how you feel about yourself. Final warning. You can't heal what you still pretend to be. Here's the most brutal truth. You will never heal if you keep pretending to be someone you're not. You can't keep smiling through pain and expect peace. You can't keep saying, I'm fine, and expect to be seen. Healing begins where pretending ends. Carl Jung said, we meet ourselves time and again in 1,000 disguises, and people-pleasing is one of the most deceptive disguises there is, because the world applauds it, but inside, you feel empty. Exhausted, angry at yourself for saying yes again, ashamed that you've built a life around being needed. You don't need more advice, you need truth, your truth. You need to look in the mirror and admit, I don't know who I am without the approval of others. That's where the healing starts, not with perfection, not with more self-help books, but with radical honesty. Say it. I'm tired of being the strong one. I'm tired of performing. I'm tired of betraying myself to avoid being alone. That's your beginning. You are not here to play a role. You are here to become whole. And that journey begins the moment you stop pretending. Because the longer you fake it, the longer you delay the life that's meant for you. Let the mask fall. Let people misunderstand you. Let some walk away, and in that quiet space they leave behind, you'll finally meet yourself.